Oh my God, here we are. Oh no, Cell. Cell's head's down.
No,
Hello.
it's fine. It's
We went
I
straight
died.
to you.
I
You
died.
died.
Sorry. I was putting up a story on Instagram. I'm not done yet. But it's
You're
fine.
not done yet. Do you need it? Do you need a minute?
No, I just like, okay, this is so specific. But you know when you do a link on Instagram, like on an Instagram story, and you just let it go automatically as a sticker, and it will be like, poopy doopy, here's the ugly version of the link as like the what you tap. Yeah, it gave me m.twitch. Ew. I just wanted to
Ew.
say Twitch.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Sorry,
Don't
that's
use
so
M.
specific. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Pro tip. Don't use M. Any links for
It just
anything.
looks ugly. I don't know. It looks ugly. It's just wrong.
Okay, g'day guys. It's ANZ Creator Stream today. Hi, I'm Pog. I'm one of the brains behind the ANZ Creators gang. I'm joined today by our awesome yippee friend.
Thanks.
It's Celestra EN, also known as the Gem Cosplay on other platforms. Welcome in.
What's up?
Hello.
I'll do a little intro.
Please.
Why not? Hi everyone. My name's Gem. You might know me as the Gem Cosplay, or if you, for some reason, from my Twitch chat, shout out. You might know me as Cell, my VTuber. I guess a little introduction from me is I've been a content creator since 2018. I've been like full-time content creation for like a hot minute. And I go to a lot of conventions, and I actually work for the Game Expo. So I do the social media management and many other things, as working in conventions be like, is you just do 50 gazillion things. And I have been a creator at every Melbourne convention, and some for many, many years. So I'm here to impart my knowledge upon you, basically.
That is every Melbourne. That is some street cred right
I'm
there.
serious. Except for Supernova, but we hate Supernova, so that one doesn't count.
that is not endorsed by the ANZ Creators. I don't know. We don't hate anyone here yet. We'll see.
No, we do. We do.
Maybe I should give a little bit of credibility check. I've not been creator at every Melbourne event. I've done I got a creator badge for the last 2 Dream Hacks and the most recent PAX. I also am invited to other little events and bits and pieces from time to time to cover events. So maybe I can attack it this way. Also, I'm here as your conduit to ask all the silly questions and dig deep into the real knowledge sharing here. I also want you guys in chat, if you've got any questions about creator event applications or anything in that sphere, stick it in chat. I'll grab it and we'll definitely get to it today. We're going to try and answer every question that we get. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fire away, chat.
I wonder where we should start. Where should we start?
Do you have any questions, Bog? Do you have any questions for me?
Look, I always approach these things that because we've all got one's perspective as a content creator, but I'm always interested, particularly from you, that you've done stuff with the Game Expo. On the other side of the wall is from the event side. What sort of what do you look for in a creator? What do brands maybe get out of having creators at events? And maybe that's like where we can start the conversation, just trying to get that mindset out of the event.
Okay. I guess like the main thing with creators is that like I think especially for a grassroots con like TGX, like our marketing is limited, and so word of mouth and through like content creators and media and like everyone who's a part of the con, like if you're an indie game or an artist, like that's really what sells the con. And so creators are a part of that, about getting the word of mouth out about the Game Expo and like having people be more informed about what it actually is and what we do. Like a big hand in that is because of our creators that we work with. So that's usually like the main thing is, how do I put this not bluntly? If you are a creator for a convention, your job is to promote the convention. That's really it. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. But at the end of the day, like you get a free ticket and then therefore your job is to create content for the convention, to promote it to your like little individual circles, or just in general for like the Game Expo or any other convention to use and gain, intel from, data from, all that good stuff, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's essentially a transaction, right? It's
Definitely.
we give free ticket. You promote and sell the convention or event to
Yep.
your community.
Yep.
Pretty easy. Pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Terry's got a question.
We got a question. Look, I'll bring it up. I can even look. Let's do a graphic. I'm trying to be cool
Whoa.
today. I'm trying to be cool. Look at me.
The graphic man.
There we go.
Puck, you're always
Haha.
cool. Ayo.
Literally,
That's
you're
good.
the only person that's ever called me cool, and I respect you. Well, I lose
Pog's
a
cool.
little bit.
Pog's cool. Everyone in chat, call Pog cool, or I'll come to your house. I
There
don't
we
know where
go.
you live, but I'll find you.
Here we go. Terry says, would love a discussion about events and small streamers. We tend to undersell ourselves or think, nah, they want people who are bigger than my little community. Do events look for small streamers as part of their creator cohort? And how can we better sell ourselves to the events so we stand out and get picked? Thanks in advance.
Yeah, this
Good
is a good
question.
one. So I thought about this a lot today, actually, because I think this is like hard. But I guess like for me, my biggest thing that I notice between applications is not necessarily numbers, but selling yourself versus underselling yourself. And I think that that's an issue a lot of creators have. And it's not like the end of the world. Like I'm sure I've done it in the past too. But I think like above everything, you need to be so confident in like what your content is, what your community is, who you are, and what you do. And I think underselling your stuff is honestly sad to see. Like when I read creator applications and they're like, "Oh, I'm probably not going to get in anyways." Like, please don't say that, um, especially in the official form. Like, please be as confident as you can. I think like. I know we hate when people say this, but confidence does truly like go a mile. It's like such a big difference. Like, let's just say you and another creator have the exact same numbers, but one of you is saying like, "Oh, I probably won't get in anyway," or "I'm like just trying," versus someone who is like, "This is what I do. I'm so proud of what I do. Here's," and they like really sell themselves. We're going to pick the person who is selling themselves. So that's like the biggest thing that you can do is like know what you do, know why you're special and why you stand out. With small streamers, I guess it's hard because like I'm not going to sit here and say that numbers don't matter because they do, but I think they only matter to a certain extent. I think like if you are like, you know, under a certain threshold, that's really hard. But I think like streaming can't be the only thing you do if you're a small creator, I think.
About to say
Like
that,
for
yeah.
me, like I'm not a big streamer, literally at all. But I am a big cosplayer and like just on social media. And so like I think like building up more than one account is really important. So like if you stream and you're a small streamer, get on Twitter, get on TikTok, get on Instagram, and you don't even need to do streaming things on there. But I think like making sure that like your community is spread out over multiple platforms so that when we look at it, it's a bigger sum number will be really helpful to you. So yes, we look for smaller streamers and smaller creators. However, I think you need to sell yourself massively and you need to have a really clear idea of why you are special and unique and like worth having. And I guess like this is something I want to touch on more later, but I think like a huge thing for creative applications is knowing your niche. And I hate that word because it's so like marketing, but like you need to know your niche. And like if there's 50, I don't know, let's just say, because we're Overwatch streamers, we'll talk about Overwatch. Let's say there's 50 Overwatch streamers. You have to be like at the tip top. They're not going to accept all 50 Overwatch streamers. They're going to take like bits from each group. So like if you are an Overwatch streamer, do you do something that's like really specific and like unique to the others, or do you just stream ranked like everyone else does? Like I guess like think about it in that way. And when you do your application, if you are smaller, say like also don't acknowledge that in the application. Don't say like I'm a small creator, like as it, do you know what I mean? Like don't say like I'm small, I'm tiny, I'm a little baby creator, you won't have me. Like I hate reading that. Please don't say that.
I've been reading that
Like-
in a thing literally today for something I'm running,
Yeah.
and the amount of people
Don't
like,
do
I'm
it,
a
guys.
tiny baby streamer. You're like,
Yeah,
come
don't
on.
do it. Don't do it.
I do think it's like a little bit around this. I think it's a not uniquely, but it's a decently problematic Australian spin on things.
I was
the
going
tall
to say
poppy
small
syndrome,
poppy, tall,
all that
yeah.
sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Forget it. It doesn't exist. You're
No.
cool. Pog's not cool,
Yeah.
but you're cool.
Like instead
Yeah.
of saying like, "Oh, I am a small streamer," be like, "I am a whatever game streamer, like maybe you're an RPG streamer. I'm an RPG streamer with a super passionate community, or I am a just chatting streamer who likes to do very unique and silly things on stream. Like, don't talk about like the amount of stuff unless they're asking you for that. So instead of identifying as like a small streamer or a small cosplayer, like identify as like, I don't know, maybe you're a horror cosplayer, or maybe you are like an indie games TikToker or something like that. Like,
Because
do it more about the content and less about the size.
Because the flip side, the large creators are not going, I'm a very large creator. Like, they're not
Yeah,
saying
no
those
one does
words.
that.
No one says that. So it's like, size, don't talk about size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So-
Yeah, it is right. Like, just explain who you are and what you do in the most confident,
Yeah.
interesting,
confident.
creative, cool way, right?
Yeah, that's how I'd say it. And I guess like don't feel dismayed, small streamers, if like you take a while to get a creator application. Like I see people who apply who are quite small, and I remember like for me, I don't think I got a creator pass until I hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. So like I think two things have changed a lot. I think it's a little bit not easier, but they look for different things now than they used to in the past. And just because you don't get it one year, it doesn't mean you're going to get it the next year. And same the other way around. Like maybe you do get it this year, but next year, like maybe you don't. And that's okay. Like being a creator for a convention isn't the end or be all. And obviously, it's very cool if you do get to do it, but it's not the end of the world. And sometimes I see people who aren't creators make much better content at a convention than people who are official creators for the convention. So it doesn't say anything, but I think like, something to strive for is just like always growing. And if it's not growing on stream, because like I know how stagnant stream growth can be, maybe like connecting with some more people on like Twitter or Blue Sky or anything like that, like anything that pushes your numbers up. Like I hate to be all numbery, but it does matter a little bit. Just to push your numbers up, even if it's not stream, and get those numbers elsewhere, is a humongous help for you. So that's my advice.
Okay.
That was a long answer. Sorry.
No, that's good. It wrapped up a few things, but it's like, I think a whole lot of this is just selling yourself, and don't use words that are like detractors.
Yeah, don't be down on yourself, guys. Everything you do is so cool. Like, I guess think about like what your like audience would think. Like if they saw you be a creator for a con, they wouldn't be like, wow, this small streamer I follow got into a con. Embarrassing. They'd be like, oh, I love this creator. Hell yeah. Like, think about how your audience thinks about you and how much they like you, regardless of like literally anything. It helps to like step away from it. Like, think about a creator you love. You're not going to be like, oh, this YouTuber that only has this many subscribers is going to be at this con, and I love them, but they're too small. Like no one thinks that. Literally no one thinks that. So it helps to like step away and think about it in a different perspective.
Yep. Okay. There's another question here. I wasn't sure. I'm just trying to relate it to creator things. It might be a stretch. We might deal with that later. I'm not sure. So
Okay.
Adman says,
I can. This is very me
There you
because
go.
I've basically done this.
What advice can you give to people who have applied and are starting again? For example, focusing more on YouTube over streaming. I have done convention videos before, non-creator, with the exception of DreamHack, and would like to know what wisdom you can bestow.
If you want to think, I've got some.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I basically did this. I was a cosplayer for like 10 years, and I still do cosplay, but contrary to my username, it's not a lot of what I do anymore. And so I remember submitting my first application from moving away from that was hard because I didn't really know like how to market myself. But I think I just had to really think about what I was doing now, why I enjoy it, why I think I'm good at it, and some highlights from that new journey that I've started. So in the past, I would really, really rely on like my cosplay stuff and my numbers and like that whole community. But now when I apply as a creator, I talk about like, so I'm an esports caster, just for clarification. I talk about my esports casting a lot, and I talk about my streaming a little bit as well. And the cosplay is there, but I think mostly I market myself like as an esports caster and like esports personality. And I think like, you just need to value what you do now, if that makes sense. Like if you okay, so you're focusing more on YouTube over streaming. Talk about like some of your favorite videos you've created recently. And you can say like, yeah, I, used to stream or I have streamed in the past. And streaming is a part of my background, but just say that you're really passionate about YouTube and this is what you've done recently and that you're really enjoying it. And like that vibe on your YouTube videos, like I guess marketing that as a way to like succeed in a creator application is, if your videos are super silly, just be like, hey, I have like a really upbeat, like tongue-in-cheek kind of personality on YouTube that I think would be super fun for some Instagram reels or for some TikToks that would include like best bits from the show. So I think, yeah, just focus on the bits that you're doing now that you really enjoy doing.
Also, like you're saying there that you've done other like convention videos, so that would probably live on YouTube. I would say probably. This is a question for you. Like when you're looking at people that are YouTubers, if all of their videos are all like I don't know Fortnite gameplay videos, and they're asking to be a content creator for an event, and there's no event related content, like. I don't know how appealing that is. You probably, if you're the one that's got some event stuff in your channel, you can show that sort of content.
Yeah, I'll say. I'd say the thing is that if you're a first-time creator for the Game Expo or DreamHack or PAX, I think there's a little bit of leniency because we don't know what you are going to do. Like if you are a creator who only does like Valorant videos and you say like, I want to create a pass to TGX, here's all the content I'm going to do. And we go, awesome. And then we give you that pass and you do it, but you didn't have any prior event content. I think that's fine. So I think if you're a creator who's never had to create a pass, I think it's almost easier because they don't know what you can do. Whereas I feel like if you've been a creator for a con before, and especially the same con, like you kind of have to up the ante, I feel a little bit, which can be difficult. So I think, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
Just trying to make it appealing. Here's a question from Discord. It's a long one.
Yeah.
I don't know how answerable this is, but maybe a little dive into what quantity of content companies and events are wanting creators to create as a baseline. I know it's going to vary greatly based on each event, but maybe some tips or insights into what we can do as creators to really fill those roles if we're selected, and how to better improve our chances of being reselected, or even a look into how peeps on the stream like to allocate. Oh, that's different. So what do you think is a good base level of content?
Yeah. Just for like knowledge, I've been a creator for many conventions and I personally probably do too much. So you can look at what I've done in the past if you want to see a good baseline, because I've been invited back every single time for another round of being a creator with a whole bunch of conventions. But I would say there is no like baseline, but like at least like one or two per platform. I will say if it's YouTube or Twitch, that's hard. Like I think if you are mainly a Twitch creator, and let's just say you have a Twitter as an example, we would expect one stream and honestly at least 3 tweets, but I would want so much more than that, just personally speaking. So I kind of divide it up into 3 categories. So you have before the convention, during the convention, after the convention. You should be posting during all of those bits, and you should be posting multiple things during all of those bits. I'm not saying you need to do a stream per section. However, you should be doing tweets per section, or you should be doing Instagram stories per section. Like, and that could just be like, resharing. But I do think like making your own content, like, hey, I'm going to PAX Oz 2024. Who else is coming? Or like, this is what I'm planning to like see at PAX Oz. What are you planning to do? Like, that's good, like pre-show content. And then during show, that's really up to you. And post-show, I think reflecting and talking about all the things you did, maybe you interviewed people that you put up. I think that's really, really important. But in terms of like numbers, like, yeah, it depends. If you are like me and you're on every single platform, I think 2 per platform, unless it's video, like unless it's like YouTube, Twitch, is good. But Instagram stories, for example, we're expecting like a higher amount than like 2 if you can per thing, because like they're so easy to put up, whereas like a YouTube video is like a lot of work. So like if you only do YouTube and you put up 1 YouTube video, I honestly think that's fine. But yeah, it's
It
kind of tricky. But
it
you have
sounds
to
like
kind
the
of play it
measure.
by what platform. Yeah.
It sounds like the measure is effort rather than
Yes, definitely.
quantity. Like if they're going, I got the thing and I just did a couple of tweets and something like that. If you feel like
That's not enough.
that's not
Yeah.
enough, that doesn't sound like enough, does it? If it's like,
No.
if it's only going to take you 20 minutes to do a couple of things, that's probably,
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
like for TGX, we super, super, super value pre-show content because for us, we don't have a lot of funding compared to the other conventions. So we need those early ticket sales to be able to do literally anything that we want to do. So from our end of things, like I've noticed a few creators who I have at the top of my head who are consistently replying to TGX tweets, commenting on Instagram posts for TGX, sharing things. And it's the same group of like 4 people. And so they're always in my brain because I'm like, oh my God, they care, A, and B, they're promoting us, like whether they know it or not,
Yeah.
them commenting and sharing consistently, like we do notice those things. And I like, that's every convention. So if you really wanted to be a creator for PAX, be in the comment section, be retweeting things, be resharing things, start your own conversations. That's really huge because if you like have no interest in the con and we don't see you, like, oh my God, people who don't follow the convention on their social media, guys, please, please, it's so easy.
Step 1.
It's so easy. Yeah. But yeah, like interact with the content. Like, I mean, TGX, we make this so easy for you guys. We put out like so many engagement bait-y posts. So like join in. Like they're always like silly, easy to answer questions. Like if we see you like in the comment section, we will remember you. 100% we will.
I'm excited. I need to learn the history of the, what's his name? The little guy.
Fleeb, my
Fleeb.
son,
We'll have
my
to-
child.
We probably should go
Love
into
him.
it. But Fleeb, I'm gonna learn
It's
all
okay.
about Fleeb soon. Hey, I'm new to that. I'm new to that event, so I've just heard from you
It's fun.
about Fleeb.
He like, it's like a running bit like the whole con, and I feel like
lore.
they used to be like a little mad at me, but now that I'm like super high up in command for TGX, they can't do anything about it. So he just runs wild.
Fleeb mentioned, but yeah, lady, I
Yep.
hope that answers your question. But yeah, it seems like put some effort in. That seems to be what I'm hearing.
Definitely. Definitely.
Victory Venus asks, I think, we want to ask what the actual purpose of the badge. We kind of covered a little bit about it, but I think we should cover it.
I'll just say it plainly.
The actual purpose of these badges are because I noticed a lot of misinformation about them around PAX in particular.
Yeah. Your job is to promote the convention. The end. That's the purpose of the badge. And we are basically like, but we're giving you a badge. Like, let's say for PAX, it's $180, right? Like $179, something like that for the 3 days. We're giving it to you for free in exchange for you promoting the con. And I guess think about it like this. You want to be promoting it to a level where, okay, this is maybe like a high ask for some people, but like this is the mindset I like to get in as a creator. You want to sell as many tickets as yours is worth. So like if you are like promoting for PAX, if you can get one person to buy a ticket, then like PAX has made money, right? If you can get like multiple people to buy a Saturday or a Sunday, that's the same thing. So you want to like, for me, I like to think of like, okay, how many tickets will I have sold? Will it equal the amount of like money that they have lost by me not having to buy a ticket? So like it literally is just promotion. That's what creators, that's what you're there for. And
Yep.
you're there to enjoy the con, experiencing it from a creator angle and finding like things to do, things to create content around. But really it is just like bottom line, it's promotion. We give you a free experience to the event. And a lot of time creator passes will have line skips. You get an early media hour, all these sorts of things. And that's a huge privilege. And the reason we give you that privilege is because we are like, you are providing a service for us, and that service is promotion and making all these things that we can use in the future. I know it's super capitalist and like,
but I mean, it's
promotion, but it's how it is.
I mean, that's not unique to events. You know what I mean? If you're getting product from a brand that's sending you a mouse or a keyboard or whatever it is, like the expectation is that you'll sell some. Really, in the end, that's kind of what it is.
Exact same with tickets to a convention.
Yeah, like I don't know. In the end, some of the content creator gig when you're getting some things in return, it's a sales job.
Yeah, it is. It really
Yeah.
is. Sales and marketing.
Yeah, so true. All right. We've just smashed some dreams here, I think, maybe. All right, here we go. Haunted by Han. This is not really specific to being invited to events or applying for content badges, but I would love to discuss if anyone has any tips for feeling that imposter syndrome kick in around applying or even during the events themselves. Oh my God. So true. I feel like I've always experienced this, and it's just how it is. And just know that everyone else has the same thing. I think a lot of people experience
I have
this.
such a different answer.
Wow. Wow. I think a lot of it is, well, I'll give you my answer. And then see, Gruwidge also has a similar. Once you fake confidence enough, you stop faking it and just become confident and help you a lot. I would say, yes, it's diminishing as I do more stuff, but like you just got to do the damn thing and fake it and just look, you've got to be real as well. Like, have your glasses on when you're looking at stuff and like, okay, is what I'm putting out there appealing? But you know, if you get the opportunity, you deserve it.
Yeah, definitely. I think like for me, I think like I don't know how to word this. You kind of just have to ignore it. I'm gonna be so real. Like you just have to like cut your thoughts off. Like if you're having any imposter syndrome feelings, like for me, I think like at the start of my creator journey, there weren't a lot of cosplayers who were involved in creator activities, and I honestly think that's still the case. I think it's getting better, but when I first started like coming up through cosplay, I had like a good amount of followers, but was never getting things. And so when I got things, I would often be like the first or the second to be able to do something as a cosplayer. And I think that was hard because I was the first. And so it was a lot of like weight on my shoulders, if that makes sense. And I felt like, okay, why me over like this person? I think in particular, sometimes when you get an opportunity, if someone's bigger than you, that can be a bit like, holy shit, why did I get to do this? But like, you literally just have to like shut those thoughts off and be like, no, they chose me because I'm the best. Like, there's no other reason apart from that. You wouldn't get something unless there was a reason for you to do it. And same with applying. You have to apply with like the mindset of like, I'm good at what I do. I know what I'm doing. I have something to offer. You honestly just have to ignore it. Like I hate how like not helpful that is, but you just have to like shut those thoughts off. And I think like I talk about this on my stream all the time because it helped me a lot when I was growing up, is that like instead of saying like, oh, I'm never gonna get in, I'm the worst, whatever, I'm not good at content creation, I'm such a small streamer, like all this stuff, you should be like, no, I'm great, I'm good at what I do, I know what I'm doing, I'm really funny, I'm really unique, I've got something to offer. I think like switching to that mindset is great. And instead of being like, oh, I'm not going to get into the creator application, be like, this convention would be so lucky to have me as a creator. Like, you have to think like that. Like, I know it sounds like narcissistic and crazy, but you literally have to think like that.
Yeah. I don't think our opinions are different. It's just the journey along the way.
Yeah, I'm just a bit harsh about it. I'm like, imposter syndrome thoughts, literally cut that shit out and you're the best. Like,
stop it.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
I just don't entertain it. Yeah. I just don't.
There's a strategy here from Simpress Boo. Whenever I have imposter syndrome, I imagine being my brother because of how much audacity he has.
Lol,
I love that.
That's good. Yeah, think of someone in your life who's really arrogant and be like, I could be them. Like, I feel like a lot of the time you have to be a narcissist. Yeah. And like being a narcissist is fun, guys. Come join the dark side. No, but for real, like I think like being overly confident in yourself, I would so much rather from a back end like point of view, you be overly confident that you be really self-negative. Like that's what I mean when I say sell yourself. Like believe in yourself, chat. Like if you're applying, it means you think that you're worth something, because otherwise you wouldn't be applying. So like put that thought and energy forward. Don't like apply and then be like, oh, but like I might not get one, or like, because I've seen some people be like, oh, I'm not going to get one anyways, written in the application. Stop it. Believe in yourself. Delete that sentence right now. Like be confident.
I'm going to be real. If I read that, I would probably go, yeah, you sure aren't.
Yeah.
You sure
aren't. Please be confident. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I feel like honestly that is the number one reason why I've had any opportunity I've had is like I've had the damn audacity to ask the question or bother that person.
You always do.
Or put the thing in. But that's literally what I tell people. They're like, how do you do this? I'm like, I just asked.
Yeah.
You just gotta do Yeah. And then just
Yeah,
have the work behind you to back it up, I guess, is the other part.
yeah. I very much relate to that. I think like as I was saying with cosplay, like there wasn't a lot of opportunities for me. So I just like made my own opportunities. Like I emailed so many companies
Mm-hmm.
and I like got in touch with so many people. I like at every convention for a long while would just network my butt off. Like every single time. Every single creator event, I would just go around and network. And now that I'm at like a comfortable position and that like my following and audience is pretty strong, I've like for a few years now I've been able to have things come to me, but I had to get to like 10,000 on Instagram. That's like a huge milestone to get to. And so like it took me so long to get there and then things started coming to me naturally, but I also think they wouldn't have if I hadn't gone out and created these connections in the first place. So like you just I know we're all introverts with social anxiety. Like, listen, I got autism up the fucking wazoo, but sometimes you just gotta do it. You just gotta be confident. And even
Yeah.
if you're silly, it's okay. You just have to like do things
Mm-hmm.
and make the opportunity for yourself.
I totally agree. My creative friends have been insulting of me recently because they just keep on, oh, he's networking. He's looking at him going off there networking.
No, it's
I'm like,
good.
yeah,
I love
sure
seeing
am.
people network.
I sure am.
Yeah, it's
literally,
good.
Estrie, there's one of them. Caught, got him. Networking.
Yeah.
They're doing the thing, and I encourage you all. And I'm, at creator events, it's a place to do it. And if I'm always happy to connect other people too. And I think that's my superpower, is connecting others.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Important. Go meet people. Go talk
Yeah,
to things.
do it.
Send an email. Go
And
do
it's
the
good,
thing.
like even with like I remember a lot of like my networking stuff started out as like a friendship or like just a fun conversation I had with someone and I wasn't even selling
Yeah.
myself. But then like we followed each other on Instagram or whatever. And then someone's like, oh, actually, I know Gem. Let's put them down for this opportunity because we talked about XYZ. Like that's how I initially got to work with Fortress when they first opened. So some Gem lore here is I was a cosplayer the opening day of Fortress in 2020. But in 2020, before things went poopy, I was one of the very few cosplayers who got to work with Fortress, and that turned into like a long-term relationship. And the only reason I got that opportunity was because at PAX 2019, I went up to the Fortress booth because I saw the word esports. This is very typical if anyone knows me. I saw the word esports, and I talked to the girl who was there, and we were just like talking about stuff. And I was like, oh, like my favorite esport is Overwatch. I love the Overwatch League. And she was like, no way, me too. Who's your team? And I was like, NYXL. And she was like, no way, me too. And then literally 3 months later was like, hey, you cosplayed when I met you. Do you want to do the opening of Fortress? So like, I think if you're passionate about things too, things will come. I think that's the other thing too, is like, we can tell when people are being not, I hate the word fake, but like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your passion will sell itself. So I think being confident and like actually enjoying what you do and the content you make is like huge too. Cause I feel like I can sniff it out when someone's just doing it for like the views when you actually want to do it. And you can combo it. Sometimes you do something for the views and you love it. But if you're just doing something for the views, I feel like I can tell a little bit.
I love that.
Anyway, that's like a whole separate discussion.
There you
But
go.
like, yeah.
Jazz
Be
likes
authentic. Be
networking.
authentic.
Be authentic. Well, that's with all of it. Be authentic. Don't lie. Be authentic. Be confident.
Oh my God, I love this message from Jazz. I agree.
It's like managing a lot of friends.
Yeah, I agree. It is like that.
All right, we've got two options here, Jem. I thought maybe one. Okay,
Yeah.
we've got two pathways. One
Okay.
is maybe we just look at the TGX Create application, just have a little,
Sure.
little browse through. Maybe okay. I'm giving you one option. That's the only option. There we go. Let's
Okay.
do that. I thought we'd just have a look at it. I don't know if you can see on my
Yeah.
screen. Or
I'm
should I
looking at
share
it on
too?
my screen. Does chat want a little exclusive? Do you want a little secret?
Please.
Do you want to know how many people have applied so far?
Oh, ooh. Wait,
Just
I'm
for the
about to dox
baseline.
myself. Hang on one sec.
Our max, like the full amount of applications we received for TGX 2024 for creator, the max amount was like 219 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Creator applications have been out for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know how time works. And we've had 255 So
That's a lot. That's more. That's a bigger
lot.
number.
That's a lot. Yeah, and it's going to continue rising. We pretty consistently get an application each day, so stiff competition this year. But it's good. I love seeing everyone's answers. Also, just to clarify, I am not the creator applications person, but I do assist with it. So I didn't make this form. I did fix some of the parts of the form.
And you've seen some answers.
I can see the answers, and I will help a little bit with accepting and denying, but that's mainly someone else in our team, but I just help filter a little bit, just to clarify.
Don't blame Gem if you don't get selected. Just
please don't. And same with Pax. I'm pretty sure Kitty does not do creator applications, so please don't come for Kitty because she doesn't do it.
She does not. She does content, not content creation.
I think the same with Kerry too. Like, guys, please don't come for the wrong people. Like, please. Anyway,
all right.
Should we
just go straight to the questions, or should I? Oh, look, here you go. This is a good one. Our expectations of successful applicants here: pre-show promotional post by your primary content platform. Yeah, and activity during the show. That's there's your minimum bench line market there.
I would like more, but if you do that, then that's good. But it would be great if you did even more than that.
And look, you've just heard it. There's 250 odd applications plus. So maybe express the level of effort that you might do in there, and more effort might help you along the way.
Also just for like numbers, we had 140 creators this year. So that's like almost 100 people that had to get a creator application. And I would imagine we're sticking to pretty similar numbers. Yeah. So that's a lot of people fighting for the same spot. So please don't get upset if you don't get in. I think like TGX applications tend to be a bit stricter than some other conventions because we don't have funding. And so the creators that we do have to be accepted, we have to know that they're going to be able to sell tickets. So please don't take it as personal. We've all been rejected from creator applications. It happens. And if you do get in, awesome. But also I want you to like fight for it. Like just because you have it, it doesn't mean you can't do nothing. Like please do things. Please create content. Little content creators.
Yeah. Good. Okay. There's the benefits here. We talked about that a little bit. Look, the first wave is coming 6th of December, so look out for that.
Oh, could I talk about one of the benefits just quickly? So we do have a little code system that goes off. And so we had a top 10 creators this year. I think we did last year as well, but I specifically remember this year. So we had a top 10 amount of creators who used the most codes. And it was very interesting seeing like what kinds of creators were at the top and the creator who got the most. So people who are very active on a lot of socials got the most codes. And I will say cosplayers like demolished. Like I think 7 out of our 10 highest code usages were all for cosplayers. And the reason for that is because they go to every convention and their entire audience is based on people who go to conventions. So they're going to go anyway. Makes sense. I think if you're wanting to maximize this code, I think like make more content around conventions and that should definitely help you out.
There you go.
Anyway.
Okay. Let's look. First question, email. Spell it
email.
Correctly.
Put in your email.
I don't know. I feel like, what's your name? That's really easy. Primary handle, Discord. What games or genres do you typically create content for?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to talk about this one.
Yeah, I thought
just a little bit. Which is that I think this question is very obvious to streamers, but it is not obvious to people who don't stream because, do you know what I mean? It's a little bit harder to like nail it down. So I think if you're a cosplayer, like you've probably done like 50 games or whatever, you've done like a lot, but you probably have a pattern in your cosplay content you haven't realized. I had to have someone point this out to me. I didn't realize the kind of like niche I was going in is someone looked at my profile and said, this is the niche that your cosplays are in. So just get a friend if you're a cosplayer or an artist and it's not obvious to you to like look through your accounts and be like, that's the vibe. like, because for me, one of my lovely friends, Remy, who runs and owns Colin Magazine, shout out, she looked at my content and she was like, yeah, you always do very like thought-provoking, like psychological cosplay content, like not only from the games, but like the content you create is very around that like psychological aspect. And I was like,
Right.
yo, I would have never thought about that. So I think if it's not obvious to you, like if you're not like an Overwatch streamer, a Fortnite YouTuber, get a friend to look at it and tell them what you do, because sometimes it can be hard to like introspect and be like, what do I do, you know?
Yeah. Is that like when people put in answers like, I'm a variety streamer, like that's a nothing answer, right? Is
Yeah,
that
not
more
helpful. Like, say
Yeah.
what variety. Like, you know, if you're a variety streamer and you play like, I don't know, like Mario Kart, Sonic, like say it. And if you're a variety that does like different stuff every week, say I do different things every week, but here are the most recent things that I've done, or the things I enjoy doing the most.
So being specific
Yeah,
is
be
very
specific.
helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
definitely.
I actually struggle with this question.
Okay.
What is your primary
What is your
content platform? Can I tell you? It's like
Yeah.
I always think my thought is always like, what are they looking for? Is it just do they just want the one with the bigger number? Because sometimes that's true,
not necessarily.
and then sometimes that's not true. See, this is
Yeah, so I guess like you basically this is up to the creator. I would say there's two answers. One is it's your most followed account, or two, it's your most active and the account that you drive people to the most. So if you're at a convention or you're networking or if you're an event, what's the account that you're like, this is my account? Like, do you say follow my Instagram? Do you say follow me on Twitter? Do you say like check out my Twitch? Which is the one that you say? And if you say multiple, what's the one you say first? I would say you can think about it like that. Because for me, it's easy because my biggest platform is also that. So it's very easy to be like Instagram. But nowadays I'm saying Twitter a little bit more just because like I'm more
That's
active there.
Literally, like TikTok's my biggest platform, but then I love Twitch the most. But then when I meet people, I'm like, follow me on Twitter. So I've got no.
Yeah, it's hard. I think for Pog for you, I would say either your TikTok or your Twitter is what I would give people.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've been
say.
leaning more into TikTok because that's sort of like where some of the content will go, and it's got the biggest number. Kind of.
Yeah. So those are your two answers: either your biggest followed or the one that you tell people first, because that means that like deep down, that's the one you care about the most.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Send a link. Oh my God. Please. I've experienced this today. Please put the full URL in here, unless it says to not.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Because
Make sure it's a clean link too, if you can.
yeah.
Just makes our job a little easier.
Yeah, no m.links, links, please. We already talked about that at the start.
Get that shit out of here.
Get it out of here. What's your current viewership follower figures on your primary content creation platform? YouTube subs, Twitch followers, etc. I think that's pretty basic.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't like that we said viewership. I should probably change that. But
fair.
like, yeah, it's like the amount, it's the size of your audience, right?
size,
So yeah. So it's like Instagram. Okay, if Instagram's your primary platform, how many followers do you have? If it's on YouTube, how many subscribers? For the most part, this is followers, and then Twitch is Twitch. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Don't lie. Can't believe I have to say this. Same thing for like average views as well. Don't lie. We can check. Really obvious. And obviously it's different if like, you know, your followers change up or down just because of life, as opposed to you just putting in a crazy number. And same with average views, because you can look that up pretty easily. Even if you think we can't, we can. I'm a social media manager. I know how to do these things. So please don't lie.
There you go. It's all public record.
Yeah.
There's so many platforms that just spit out the numbers when you put in the username.
Yeah.
So
They sure do.
lying doesn't get you anywhere, other than in the bin, maybe.
Yeah.
What is your current percent? I've actually found this when I was reading this application, I'm like, okay, this was obvious to me that TGX is looking to sell tickets, and the most obvious thing is like, we need to find out what your audience looks like in Australia, in the place likely to buy tickets and attend the event. So you're asking questions about who is of age in Australia. This is an interesting one because some platforms don't give you this very easily.
Twitter's hard unless you have Twitter Blue. But I would say like If like Twitter is your primary platform and you can't access that data, just write in the box like I'm not able to access the data for my primary platform, but for my secondary platform I am, and this is those numbers. And you can say like I imagine it would be similar.
Yep. Yep. Supporting socials platform. Oh, I think I literally asked you this question about
You
this. I
DM'd
did.
me, yeah. happy to yap about this. So
Yeah.
this is like your primary platform for content is like where you're putting the bulk of your content, or like the one that you're giving to the most people. But
Yeah.
what do you supplement your content with? So like if you're a Twitch streamer, where are you yapping? If you're like an Instagrammer, where are you posting behind the scenes stuff if you're not posting it on Instagram? So it's kind of like, what's the second in command? And the reason that Twitch isn't here is that it's not supposed to be content. It's supposed to be like supplemental stuff. So same with YouTube. Like YouTube's not here because that's a primary thing. And these like secondary, these supporting platforms are more about like, how do you keep people up to date? Like on Twitch, you're not going to be like, hey guys, just letting everyone know that my stream will be on Sunday. Like, I don't think you can even do that unless the Twitch stories that no one watches. So like, where are you telling people that you're streaming on Sunday, if that makes sense?
Yeah. A gathering place? I thought that was a cool question. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think for us, like we just really care about community. And I think for conventions in particular, you want to have that community around you. And so Discord is definitely the primary one. And with Facebook here, we're looking for more groups as opposed to like pages, for example. You can put a page in, but it's mainly talking about like groups and like places to like hang out, chat to each other, all that stuff. Patreon is such a beast. Like I used to be a full-time Patreon content creator for like 3 years.
Yeah, wow.
And it was a time. So just shout out to everyone who put Patreon because I respect you. Like that shit is so draining. But I think Discord is definitely the main one we're looking at here. But if like, for example, you do indie game stuff and you have like a Steam like team or whatever they're called, then like hell yeah. But yeah, it's just like a place where people can hang out. Discord's definitely the easiest one to like explain.
Okay, great. I'll keep going there. Obviously, if you're applying for this, you probably want to agree to making content, do some coverage of the event.
You can't not. There's just a yes button.
Yes. You should put a no and then to see who says no. No.
Oh.
I think this is probably the most important
the big
question here.
Yeah.
What content do you intend to produce at the show?
Okay, I'm going to be so real with you, chat. Please say more than 2 words and please say more than a sentence. Like when I look at some of these creator applications and I see paragraphs, oh my God, I'm so happy. Like I'm like, yes, okay, they know exactly what they're doing. I guess don't overpromise. This is something I've done in the past, guilty, where I thought I was going to have more time than I ended up having at a convention, and I went a little crazy in the application saying I was going to do XYZ, but then I wasn't able to. I think that's okay. I think if you promise a shitload and you only do a tiny amount, maybe just like send the convention an email and be like, hey, I wasn't able to due to XYZ, but here is the content that I've made. If you think it's like such a huge discrepancy from what you said, just because it can be a little bit dodge for someone to come in and like promise the world and then not do any of it. But I think letting us know is good if it's like a huge discrepancy. If it's not a big discrepancy, like whatever. But yeah, like please be detailed. Like instead of saying I'm going to post that I'm attending TGX and a vlog, that's not enough. Like go in detail, please. What are you going to do in the vlog? What like you know?
Can I have a moment of vulnerability, please?
Yes, good.
So because it shares, once you fill out the form, it sends you an email with all the answers. Can I read my answer? You can judge me.
Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it live.
I said, we'll decide once I'm there and what I'm enjoying. Not a good start.
Oh my God, Pog.
Likely, I go on.
Okay.
Likely short form content highlighting aspects of TGX. Posts about my involvement in the expo in the lead up and post event. Would love to highlight indie games and the community aspect of the expo. That's what I put.
Okay, that's not bad. I think the last sentence. Yeah, you could have done more. I think the last sentence there is really good. Like, here's a hack for everyone in the stream. If you haven't done your TGX creator application yet, go to our website and there's a section called features and get involved. Look at both of those and say, what do I want to make content about? And if you mention the zones, like, and you write them correctly, bonus points. Like, that's actually so good because you know what the convention is.
Yeah.
Like, because for example, we don't call it the artist alley at TGX. We call it the artist zone. And so things are very particular with how it's worded. And if we know that, like, you've read the website, you've seen the socials, you know what you're doing, if you're able to point that out in your application, that actually is really helpful, because we know that, like, you have some familiarity of the convention. So I would say, like, if you want to do a vlog about the indie game zone, instead of saying, I'm going to write a vlog, be like, I'm going to do a vlog for these platforms. It will be this approximate length. You don't have to be like, 20 minutes, 36 seconds, but just be like, you know, it could be half an hour. Or if you're doing reels, be like, I'm going to be doing some 90-second Instagram reels where I interview the developers at the indie game zone. Or maybe you're going to say, I'm going to spotlight some artists in the artist zone by, you know, maybe taking photos of them. Or maybe you say you're going to interview. So I think, like, say what you're actually going to do instead of saying, I'm going to post, I'm going to vlog, I'm going to take photos. Like, okay, of what? Like, be a bit more in depth. And I know, like, obviously not everyone's been to TGX, so you don't know what we have, but I think looking at the features and looking at, like, our Instagram and Twitter and looking at the past content is, like, a great way to understand, like, what's there. I think this is true of any con. Like, I wish I could send you, like, show everyone on stream, like, what my creator applications look like when I send them in, because I go mad in this section every single time. Like, this is like an essay every single time. I'm like, here's what I'm doing, here's why I'm doing it, and I also say why my community would like that content. You don't have to do that, but that's what I do. So I would say, I'm at PAX Australia. I'm going to interview all these Overwatch esports players because I play a lot of Overwatch on stream, and also my community is really focused on esports and they're very passionate about it. That's perfect. Like, because you've told us why your audience likes it and why people would want to watch, as opposed to, like, just doing something for the sake of doing something. But this is the area I would prefer to be the longest in your application, is be really specific with what you intend to do, because that's, like, the exchange is what you post.
Yep.
So be in depth with it if you can.
Great. That's a killer piece of knowledge there. I think if you're gonna take away anything, that's the one.
Yep, that's the one.
Nail it. Clip it, guys. Clip it and ship it. Okay. This one I think is so easy, but I think people might do poorly, and there's some tools in here to help you out. If you're a creator at TGX recently, please link any content you made about the show.
Yeah.
I know for me, like, when I did my PAX one, I was like, I wasn't a PAX creator last year. I'm like, here's all of the things that I did around PAX last year. It was like, I did this tweet, that tweet, I did this story, I took these photos, I did this video, I talked about it on stream 5 times on these dates. I talked about, like, and I, like, just went ham with, like, all these different sorts of platforms and links and things. That's what I did. I assume they like that because they gave me a pass. So I don't know.
That's definitely something that I specifically assisted a lot of people with getting PAX passes this year, was this part of the question for PAX. I also helped people do this for DreamHack. So shout out if there's anyone in chat who had a conversation with me about how to do a PAX application, because this is the bit we focused on the most. When I workshop with people, is content you've made for the convention in the past. Make a link tree? No. That means we have to do extra work. I would prefer if you link everything by post. So what I personally do when I'm a creator is I have 3 sections that I make for this question. And I talked about this earlier in the stream, but the same thing's coming up again, is pre-show content, during show content, post-show content. And you're going to link from every single platform if you can. And you can do it by platform or in date order. I think either is fine. I think I do it by platform. You're going to link all of the Instagram posts you made pre-show or post-show mentioning the Game Expo or whatever convention you're applying to. Then you're going to link all of the content you made during the show, / that you posted during the show. and post show content. This can be like a wrap up or like, hey, throwback to PAX 2023. Who's looking forward to PAX 2025? It's like something like that. Putting in content like that is great. Please link everything individually. I think that's best. And this is another one where, like, if I see a lot of links, I'm like, "Ooh, baby, this is a good one," because I like to see that, like, that work. So for me, my PAX application this year, I did last year was okay, I think, for me in terms of like the amount of content that I did. This year I've sucked a little bit, but to be fair, I was hosting and doing other stuff, so whatever. But like my application, I think I had 80 to 90 links in there
Oh
of
my
PAX
God.
content from the last year. And yeah, I could have
That's a
done
lot.
more. So like a lot is good. Yeah, I would say link everything. And if you're like, oh, I can't remember posting about TGX or PAX or whatever, go into your Twitter and just search like your name and then PAX or like PAX Oz or at
Yeah.
PAX Oz or
Yeah.
whatever. Just search for it. Instagram's a little tricky because you're gonna have to go into each post one by one and have a look. But yeah, keep tabs on stuff like that. And if you're super organized, have a Google Doc or a spreadsheet. So whenever you post about the con, whack it in there. So then when you get to this time, you can just be like, I already have it. That's past my organizational levels, but you can do that if you like.
We did talk about for Instagram using the highlight function and like sticking all your event
Yes.
content
Oh my God,
together or
godsend.
whatever. So that's one link you can send. They can just go tap 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 through it, I guess, or
Yeah.
something. At least a way to like have it there in a little bundle that you can refer back to.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm happy to, I don't know how we're going to set this up, but I'm happy to share my screen and show like my highlights from like a PAX.
Hey, screen share might be
so
set
wish.
up here. If you use the screen share function in there, it might just work.
Okay, we just have to make sure I share the right window because there's K-pop boys on the other one.
I don't think many people would complain.
Okay. Well, bam. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Whoa.
Hold on.
If you post 90 links with the person going through apps actually open 90 tabs in their browser and read/watch all of that, I think they're going to definitely click on like around 10 or so. But I think just having the knowledge that you've done all of that is amazing. Like they want to see like as much as possible, in my opinion. So no, they're not necessarily going to click on all of them one by one, particularly if everyone does that in their applications. However, at least we can see that you've done the work and that you've made a lot of content. That's the main thing.
Okay, I cannot see the screen share. It's got a little.
Why not?
I don't know why.
That's weird.
It's got a little thingy. Wait, I'm just gonna take it over and see what happens. And then see if I do that, that's kind of fine. Turn that off. Oh, maybe not. Nope. Refresh. Okay. Oh wait, I've turned your camera's just gone off now. There it is. Okay. Do you want to try again? And I'll just add it quickly.
Okay, sorry, chat. Oh, it's such a me stream. Even though it's not me streaming. Okay, boom. Boom.
Boom. Oh, boom.
Boom.
Okay. It just says...
It just says loading. The hell? Let me just send you this POG. I don't know if you can
If
see
you can
this.
send me a link, then I can just click on it, maybe.
Oh, hang on. I'm fixing it. I had added a slash in accidentally. I was thinking about applying for TGX, but I can't be sure. I have the time off from work and I'd prefer to give that spot to someone who can make it. Honestly, like, I don't mind. We every year have people who a week before the show suddenly can't make it. And that's honestly okay. Like, it's okay. So if you want to apply anyway, like, personally, it doesn't bother me. But I respect the noble decision, but you're more than welcome to apply. And then if you can't do it, you can't do it. And to back out, just please tell us, because sometimes like we'll accept a creator and then the convention will happen and I'll be like, I did not see them. And then they didn't do any socials and it will turn out that they couldn't go. So we'd rather know than not know.
You sent me a Twitch link.
Well, do you want me to like Discord share my screen or something?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know.
back to
Let me
this so no
stop
one sees
screen
what we're
sharing on
doing.
here.
Oh, we're gonna have to. You're
We'll
gonna have
call
to
it and
call
then
me in there. Yeah, I'm just gonna mute.
yeah, me too. Okay, share screen. Cool. Oh boy, which one is it?
We're doing it, chat. Don't worry about it. The production value.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. I'm almost there. If you could make your window a little bit squarer, that would make me so happy.
Oh,
Okay, that's
sure.
perfect. Let me just
Yay.
make it go. And then I'm just gonna do this and then this.
Oh, two
and then
goats on
that.
stream. Hi, Snug Boy. What's up? Goat in chat. Yo.
There we go. Look, I've got it. You're on.
Yay.
Oh, wait, we don't need
Okay.
that. Yeah.
This is my
Close enough.
Instagram chat.
Look at us.
Yeah, I specifically want to show you like my highlights. So I haven't done one for PAX 2024. I really should. This is called procrastination, and I've been busy lately. But
Yeah.
I'll show you PAX 2023 and maybe DreamHack 2024. Also just in general, like outside of conventions, if you work with a brand a lot, make a highlight for them. It actually makes them so much easier for them. I got reached out to by the magic people I work with, and they were like, "Hey, did you post about this?" And I was like, "Yup." And they were like,
Never
okay.
saw it.
We didn't see it. And I was like, oh, I'll just make an Instagram highlight. So every time I do a magic event, I just add it to the highlight. So now
Smart.
they know when I do a campaign with them to look at the highlight. So that's helpful.
Smart.
But let's look at PAX 2023. So I apologize if there's anything stupid in here. But this is like, okay, you can see the amount of stories in here. That's across 3 days though. That's honestly not that much. And I probably posted more than that, but this is what I've selected for the highlight. So this is my first one. It's Nintendo. This is not a great start, because it's not that obvious. Like there's no PAX atting. Like there needs to be a PAX at here, or like here I'm at media hour, or like yay I'm at PAX. It's Friday. Let's get it.
Because
Something
they
like that.
they want to be tagged so they can reshare stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have added here. To be fair, this is 2023. But see, I added Sega but not PAX. Like, bro, at PAX, what are you doing? But I think taking a photo with your pass is always fun, especially if you're in cosplay. Super, super fun. And then going around and just enjoying all of the bits of the convention, I love seeing. Like, I want to see you doing things and see you enjoying aspects of the convention. So like there's me at the retro games section. There's me like with a friend at a photo shoot. Then me with some creators. There's the PAX Oz tag. Like I want to see you enjoying stuff. Obviously having PAX branding and like whatever convention you're at is great. Like we have so many backdrops for TGX. So many. And there are so many you can take photos in front of. There's one that a million creators take photos in front of. Please continue to do that. Fleeb/Bitbot is there for a reason. So any branding in the background that says like, it's this convention, like they put that there so you could take photos in front of it. So like I would encourage you to do so. So this is good at PAX. Okay. I will say on Instagram, probably don't do a hashtag on a story. You can, but like who's using that? So I think the @ here is really, really good. And then there's me enjoying stuff. See me at a panel. It's good to see you enjoying different aspects of the show. What the hell is this photo?
Oh, that's at the convention. I'm like, that's not your bedroom. I don't know you're a gamer, but not that much.
Yeah. Like, and this is me showing my cosplays, looking at panels. So just like show what you're doing during the day. Oh, here's me yapping about goats. Pog's on this panel. He's
I'm there somewhere.
Here. You're there somewhere. But resharing things that people tag you in, sharing like this is what I got up to today. And I think doing it each day is great. Like I would rather you do an even amount per day rather than like 9 Instagram stories on Saturday and like nothing on Sunday. Like share it evenly. I know for 3-day cons that can be hard, and I'm not saying it needs to be like the exact amount of like stories per day or exact amount of posts per day, but like don't do no day. Don't do a day with nothing if you can avoid it. But yeah, there you go. I started adding PAX Oz there. But I think the strongest bit about this for me was resharing other people's stories that tagged me in it. And that can just be your friends. And then showing people like what you got up to and what you're doing. And so like, let me go. That's a lot of Valorant. But let me go back to this one. Come by PAX Oz Arena to watch me cast Valorant Game Changers. This is great because you're telling people I'm going to be here. Please come to this thing that is a key aspect of the convention. So if you're doing a panel, like an hour beforehand, be like, yo, I'm doing this panel in this room. Here's where you can find it. It's with these people. Come check it out. It'll be at this time. That's perfect. Like, that's excellent. Have a look at my DreamHack one, which is definitely better. Hear and learn.
Here and learning.
Here and learning. Hey, DreamHack. Okay, say chat. Why is this good? This is good because I added DreamHack. I have my DreamHack lanyard in the photo, so you're like, oh, bro, is it DreamHack? Hey, look. Hey, guys, look. DreamHack.
Look at all those
Like
logos.
the branding is really obvious. And then like showing what I'm getting up to. Hey, I posted this before the panel. At the panel stage, come watch me for silly Overwatch fun. Oh my god, Pog is here also.
Oh,
But I think like just showing what you're doing, and during panels, my friends just take a million stories and then just at me in all of them.
that's great.
Which is very, very helpful. Like Louise Aldemone is like in half of my story highlights because she always films and then ats people. Like you need friends to do that. But yeah, I think the biggest takeaway here is do a lot. Like this is a good amount. I don't know how to number, but like if you look at this, that's what you should be aiming for across the whole convention. If you can, I know it's a lot, but if you're an Instagram creator especially, go for it. Go for it. And yeah, I just think the biggest part is promote the things you are doing at the con if you are doing things and show all of the bits. Like I think that's something that I think jumps out from my content is that it's not me doing one thing all day. It's me doing like a gazillion different things. And then like the con organizers know that like you know all of the bits of the convention. And that you got to experience like a lot of different things. How important is Instagram nowadays? I will always say Instagram is actually the most important platform.
I resisted for the longest time, but I sort of started spinning up Instagram last year, and literally they all asked for Instagram. I'm doing a gig this week, and they're only measuring Instagram. not
Instagram
my other
is the big
platforms.
boy.
It's crazy, especially for events.
Oh, absolutely. And that's like how I got to crack in. I think sometimes people look at my Twitter and Twitch and be like, why does Jim get to do all this stuff? And it's literally because of my Instagram. So Instagram's a big boy. I know it can be hard to make streaming content for Instagram. It's a little easier now that they have Reels, but I remember having friends who were streaming before Reels was a thing being like, what the hell do I post to Instagram? Because it was just photos. But I think like showing what you're up to, your games collection, maybe like a photo of like your streaming setup or like your PC setup is good. I think like nowadays Instagram is very casual, which is so different because it used to be like the mega professional social media, but now it's more about like photo dumps and being more personal and those sorts of things. But yes, you should be using Instagram if you can. I know it's a lot to have a million different platforms, but Instagram's one you want for sure. And Meta, compared to some other platforms, are actually pretty okay. Okay, well, I don't know why I put this in the thing. I just want to show everyone that I love. But yeah, like,
oh, I mean, that
look at
one
this.
too.
Look at all these tagged creators at DreamHack AU.
That's great photo.
And then it's just me enjoying the event. Like, enjoy the event and also do some shit posting.
Yeah.
That's me watching Overwatch because I wanted to know. But yeah, I think like show that you're enjoying all aspects of the show, or like maybe for one day you're like, okay, today all I'm doing on my Instagram story is I'm showing off these indie game devs, and that's going to be my thing of the day. But make sure you at the Game Expo, at PAX, at DreamHack. If you're not doing it like visually here, like see how like you can't see an at here, that's okay if you add mentions after the story so that they get sent to the post. And putting it in a highlight is good too, but like adding it is great. And sometimes conventions really like putting that onto their story, and then that's extra promotion for you. So it's really helpful. I think like, aspects of the con, or at least convention aspects that you're really passionate about and that you really enjoyed, is something I personally really like seeing. So please show the things that you enjoyed doing, not just the people you hung out with, but like the things at the con that you can see like branding in the background of, or that are like are obviously TGX, obviously PAX. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Cool. All right. I think we want to wrap it up soon-ish. So I'm going to ask you another question that's different to this. Is that okay? We move on.
Yeah, go for it. You
Okay.
can get rid of my screen share.
We did. We talked about. We briefly spoke beforehand about while looking at applications from the brand's perspective. I want to know some very obvious red flags or green flags that you might see in creator applications that be like a hell yes or a hell no. Maybe some examples of things that might stand out in a good or bad way.
All right, let's do the bad first, then we'll talk about all the good. Red flags. Please don't use AI in your application. I know this might sound really obvious to some people and it might be a shock to others, but we can tell. And I personally don't like seeing AI in any form of content, but I especially don't like seeing it in a creator application because I want you to tell me why you should be a creator for the con, not a robot. Please don't use AI. It's also very clunky and the sentence structure is just very off. And I know you might be like, oh my God, how can you tell? It's very obvious. So please don't use AI in your creator application. I know sometimes it can be hard to word things, but just like give it some time and really think about it. Applications don't close for a while, so you have some time to like think about it, mull it over a bit before you send it through. Yes,
and share it with friends. Share it with friends as well. Get feedback.
Yeah, for sure. I help so many people with their creator applications. I can't super do that for TGX because I'm like a part of the con, but I'm happy for DreamHack and PAX and Oz Comic Con and whatever for people to send me what they want to send, and I can work it through with you. But
I would say like I have like a big document in my Notion of like all the random bits and pieces that I've written about me and my content, and I just pull bits and I'll tweak for different events. But I've just got this library of like different statements or different things that I want to express about me and my content, and like getting your friends to help with that or just like tweaking it over time. You should always like have that. If you haven't done it, it's probably a good exercise to start writing.
Yeah,
describe yourself in a nice way. Get some help.
Yeah,
anyway.
I feel like you're probably like me, Pog, where we have to do it all the time. Like I feel like I have to fill out an application for something like once a week at this point and yap about like why I'm a good creator and like what I bring to the table. Right. So it's like a good thing to get in practice of. If we wanted help, who should be asking for future applications? Honestly, I think looking at creators who consistently get applications that you are friendly with and like that they know of you is great. So if you know someone who's been a creator at PAX who's like in your circle, ask them about like what they did, why they think they were chosen. I'm definitely happy to answer questions. So if anyone wants to at me on Twitter or like send me an Instagram DM, like I'm happy to help a little bit. I can't like step by step help you fill out the application, but I can definitely give you some pointers.
I would say ANZ creators exist. It's a whole lot of people doing similar stuff, a lot of peers. So you could even start a little thread and ask them for feedback. But it's often like with those things, it's people that know you best are the best help with that because they know you a bit more deeply rather than at a surface level. So I would even like, start there. And then maybe when you're closer to the end, maybe ask some ANZ creators for some, like, what does this sound like from an outsider's perspective as well, maybe.
Yeah. That's a good one. I guess other red flags too are not correctly filling out the application. There's a few applications I've looked at where people have read the question wrong. And I get it, it happens, but please just double check before you submit an application. And if you're bad at checking like I am, send it to a friend, take a screenshot, whatever. Just make sure it makes sense. Because sometimes there's like, it doesn't happen very often, but occasionally someone will read a question and answer a completely different one. And I'm like, what? How did this happen? But it does happen. So just make sure you're reading things carefully. And if you're not 100% sure, get someone to read it over. Another red flag is really short answers. I think I've already talked about this, but I would love for you to yap. Don't go like ballistic, although I say this is someone who goes ballistic every single time in a creator application. But I would rather have a medium to long answer. Like I want to see the enter key be active. You know, I want to see some paragraphs. Like I want to see you like really selling yourself and putting in the effort. And I think like that's probably the main takeaway from the stream is like put in the effort. We can see it. So short answers are definitely a red flag for me. Lying on your application, mega red flag for me, as we've already talked about. Just don't do it. There's no way around it. We know, you know that we know, don't do it. And then my last red flag is not selling yourself / being really down on yourself in your application. You're allowed to think all those things in your head. Do not put that in an answer. If you think that like you're not big enough to get a creator application, you're allowed to think that for sure. Like we all have those moments. But don't in your application be like, I probably won't get this anyway. Or like, I'm applying, but like I know I won't get it. Like, don't say that, please. Please don't say that.
Back
so
yourself.
those are my red flags.
There you go. All right. There's some red. What about some green?
All right, green, detail, love it. Go into detail, write me some paragraphs, be specific with everything that you're talking about. You know, if you're talking about what content you're going to make at TGX, I want to know details. Like if it's a vlog, you know, what days are you vlogging? What kind of content do you want to see in the vlog? Is it going to be like, you know, a crazy vlog where you do challenges? Is it going to be a vlog where you interview people? Like be more specific and highlight the areas of the show that are important to you. Especially because like a lot of the times we can like give you cool things. Like if you're like, I want to talk to the indie games before it's busy, we can probably set something up. So indicate like the areas of the show you're most interested in, as opposed to just being like, I want to come, free ticket. Be like, oh, I want to see like the Smash Bros tournament, or I really want to see the cosplay cup. I think like being specific is good. Showing passion, great. Like love when people are super excited in their creator applications. Like that's the best thing to see is people who are so jazzed. Like give me some exclamation marks. I love that shit. Like go ham. Like it's nice to see the enthusiasm. And then other green flags I think is knowing your niche, knowing your worth as a creator, and knowing why you are special and unique to other creators. Because as I was saying earlier in the stream, if 50 Fortnite streamers apply and they all, guys, I don't play Fortnite. This is a bad analogy. I'm going to swap it to Overwatch. Okay, let's just say all these Overwatch streamers apply and all they do on stream is play ranked. And they're all great creators, but they all do the same thing. How are you going to stand out compared to someone who does the exact same thing as you? So think about something that makes you special. And I think the people who are able to like figure that out and like write about why they are unique and worth having is a huge green flag as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would say like make it about you. Like if you're an Overwatch ranked streamer, but like you do all these challenges on stream, or like you only play this one game mode, or like, you know, you are very silly, or you have this running bit going, or like you do this challenge on stream, like mention that. And same for other forms of content creation. Like if you're a TikToker and you're like, okay, I'm just going to give you an example of a TikToker I love whose name escapes me. But the girl who reviews toilets in Melbourne, she's amazing because no one else does what she does. She goes into public toilets and she takes away, and then she was like, here's what I thought about the toilet. And those videos get so many views. She has like hundreds of thousands of followers because it's so specific and no one does what she does. Seriously, like having like a really specific niche is great. And it like, you know, there are so many people who do so many different things. But if like, I don't know, if you play WoW, but all you do in WoW is mount farm, that's awesome because you do something that not a lot of people do with the game on stream. So I think just making sure you know what's special about you is a green flag for sure. But that can be hard. Ask your friends what makes you special if you find it hard to be introspective about it.
Amazing. Okay.
Woohoo.
Any very quick final questions anyone's got? I think we might wrap it up shortly.
Send in your questions.
This has been a good conversation. I've really liked it. I feel like I am not alone in the group here that I'm like, I wish I could go back and edit some.
Sorry.
But, you know,
okay.
you live and learn.
Next time.
You live and learn.
Yeah.
I also want to say, like, hey, if you don't get, there's going to be a lot of people that don't get picked. And that's like, it's not a reflection about you and your content, really. Like,
no.
It's who they wanted at that point in time and who it's a whole lot of factors. So I also think some people might think of like getting a badge for an event is some like we talked before about it being essentially it's a transaction because you're doing a sales job or whatever. But like I feel like some people think it's like I deserve this because I'm a great streamer, and it's like it's a totally different different thing. Yeah. So it's really about what you're giving to that event and what they're giving back in return. And it's not always about you being a cool Overwatch streamer or something like that. It's about something completely different.
Yeah. And there are streamers who do numbers, but they just never post event content. And like, you know,
I think that happened with PAX
it's
a
hard.
lot. That happened with PAX. It was really big creators that had been there, had creator badges in the past that got denied this time. And then you go and you look and go, they only create content on YouTube. They've been created the last 2 years on PAX, and there's 0 PAX content on their YouTube channel. I go, well, I get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to think about it, those things as well. Yeah. So, but yeah, like, I don't know. There's lots of people playing. So, you know, with all things in content, you're going to get told no a lot too. I've been told no a million times.
Oh, yeah.
All the things. You just have to have the audacity to ask.
Exactly. I get told no all the time. And to be honest, I would so much rather a no than not a non-response. Oh, you got a raid.
We got a raid while we're wrapping up. Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I guess my main takeaway for you, chat, is be confident, know why you and your content is special, and don't you dare say it's not, because it is. You all bring something to the table, and I think figuring out what that thing is great. If you haven't done your application yet, I'd love some detail from your answers. And I think just having a really good plan of what you're going to go in with, especially if you've never been a creator for a con before and for TGX in general, come in with like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm so excited about it. Here is why I would do it. Here's why my community would really enjoy it. And whatever. Like, that's, I think, the biggest takeaway. And like, be confident, guys. I don't want to see any more insecure applications. Like, you are good at what you do, and we know that you're good at what you do. You just have to sell it to us.
Love that. Thank you very much, Saikatsu, for the raid. We're actually wrapping up. We've been talking all things content creator applications for event. This is ANZ Creator. So welcome in. You're joined by Pog and Cell here. Now, is there anything else we want to talk to? Each no is one step closer to a yes. So true. So true. It
is. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, like any like last minute, like fast questions, zip them through about like creator applications, the Game Expo, conventions in general, making content for creation, for making content for conventions. Because I've been doing it for a hot minute. Like, I would say my content isn't even cosplay content. It's just convention content. Like, I feel like I just post about conventions and for conventions. So please use some wisdom. What's the expected turnaround for content after the event? I would say I personally like a casual wrap-up post, like a week to 2 weeks after. And that doesn't have to be a YouTube video. That can just be on Twitter being like 4 photos of you at the Game Expo, being like, thanks so much, the Game Expo, for having me. I had such a great time. Can't wait to see you all next year. If you literally do that within like a week is preferable, but 2 weeks, that's fine too. That's great. Videos and like long form stuff, I would say like 3 months is probably ideal. But like, honestly, sometimes like that content can come around to being, if it's so far after the event.
Let's look at it next year.
It's kind of okay because then it like promotes the con the next year.
Yeah.
But if you are doing a video like that, that's going to take like 6 months to put out, please do some tweets right after the con, like in that first week, in the next week. It makes a really big difference. And yeah, just saying thank you is
That's
good.
huge, Kyle.
Shout out, Kyle.
Even for PAX in particular, I know it was mentioned in ANZ Creators to give feedback to the people that were doing the creator applications, the agency that was there, and just any feedback around how their content went and all that sort of stuff is valued. They like a follow up. You know, that's like, I do that with brands as well. Like if I've been asked to do content, whatever, I'll then follow up with some analytics or with something else was going on. That's sometimes over and above, but you know, it makes you stand out a little bit when you say thank you and put a human.
Oh yeah.
To a
Oh, I do have one last thing to say. Be nice. Be nice to convention staff. Be nice to our volunteers. Not saying that you're not, chat, but I think being nice, especially when you get denied, is like such a huge thing. Like I remember seeing people say like, oh, I didn't get in, and then immediately trashing the convention or trashing creators who did get in. Know that puts a target on your back. So please be nice. Be nice to other creators. Be nice to convention staff. I think particularly for the Game Expo, like I've said this a million times, but we are a grassroots con. There's no big corporate corporation. There's no corporation period behind the Game Expo.
It's
like we're just
people.
gamers who've it's people. It's people who've worked in the games industry for a long time who just love the space. So like please be patient with us. We do not have the funding and the means to do things like some other conventions can, but we care and we're real people. Like there's not robots behind
And
anything.
they remember.
So like from a social media management point of view as well, like I do not want to get any nasty messages or comments. Like please be nice, especially if you're a creator. Like if you are nasty, you're not getting a creator pass. Like
Also,
please be nice.
Other creators notice as well, and they go, "Well, that they're not nice."
Yeah.
And they're like,
Oh,
they're
100%.
the ones doing the tall poppy cutting, and it was like, I don't want to know about them.
Yeah.
Then it's not doing you any favors.
Yeah, 100%.
I hate that when ending on negative. Be nice though. Be nice. All right.
And go get your tickets. I guess
they're on
one
sale.
thing to add is that our early bird tickets are out. If you're a creator and you have applied or are going to apply, please get tickets beforehand just in case you miss out, because the early bird special does not last forever. It is limited, so they're in waves, so it's a total amount. Once we get to that total amount, that's it. And that's the cheapest the tickets are going to be, and they can be refunded. So if you're a creator, please get your early bird tickets now before they sell out, because I've had a little look at the wave and it is going quickly. So if you want to get your early bird tickets in now at the cheapest price and then refund them when you get accepted, / you have them as a backup if you don't get accepted at the cheapest price, I would highly, highly, highly recommend to do that.
There you go. There's a
Hell
link
yeah.
if you want to have a look at that.
Go for it.
Okay.
But yeah, you can refund it, so no stress. Go get your ticket before the early bird wave is out, and then the waves will get slightly more expensive as it goes on. So like, this is the time. If you can, this is the time to grab your ticket.
Great. Okay. I think we're all done. Gem, I never know what to call you sometimes. I'm just going to
I
say
don't care.
both. Cell.
I don't care.
Cell/Gem, hello. Thank you very much for joining us and lending
No worries.
that big wrinkly brain of yours with all of that knowledge and
Got you.
advice. Guys, claps in the chat for Gem. I'm just going to write clap. I don't
Thanks,
even know if it works.
gamers.